Today we have 4 visionary women of distinction at the forefront of family office leadership, driving impactful investments in philanthropy for their dynasty families. They're transforming family strategies, leading the charge for innovation, and shaping the future of generational influence and wealth. Let me just first introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to my good friend, and it is a great honor for me to introduce a true Renaissance woman, Jen Bawden. She's graced so many covers as a top fashion designer and conquering complex world of macroeconomics, writing about different things. She's a tech disruptor, always being an ardent entrepreneur, a best-selling author, and she's really redefined what's possible with her great enthusiasm and ability to connect people. So, without further ado, I'm going to just introduce her as a rainmaker, a force of nature. She's really a true polymath, and she's reached, the heights of many different fields. So it's a testament to her, her unique intellect, her drive, and her visions. And as a global speaker and influencer and visionary leader, she's one of Canada's national treasures, no doubt. So please join me in welcoming my dear friend and the amazing Jen Bawden, and I will introduce the rest of the panel real quick as well, but she will do this formally for you as well. Lyndsay Howard, Princess Stephanie Silverstein, and Patricia Silverstein. Thank you very much for your time. This is going to be a really dynamic presentation, and I look forward to chatting with all of you after this good panel. Thank you.
Well, it's hard for me to feel too special when I'm sitting next to some of the most amazing women I know. And I want to ask you all, have any of you imagined what it would be like to have lunch in Beijing with only Henry Kissinger and the President and Foreign Minister of China in the room? Or to have dinner with Ambassador James Woolsey, the head of the CIA, with the Foreign Minister of Russia in Vienna, just you, with him and the Foreign Minister? Well, the young lady next to me, her name is the amazing Lyndsay Howard. And Lyndsay, you worked with Mayor Bloomberg in his presidential race. You were on the front lines as a senior policy advisor. Imagine the power of being one of the few women at the very top of the world, whispering strategic guidance into dozens of world leaders for years, earning you a seat as one of the few women, and one of the earliest women, at the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. That woman is the incredible Lyndsay Howard.
Thank you, Angel Jen. It is my sincere privilege and honor to welcome Princess Stephanie de Sarhago Bilbao. Princess Stephanie is a self-made entrepreneur, a best-selling co-author of Triumphs of Transformation, and was a candidate for mayor of Charlotte, North Carolina, with roots in Mexico, the Basque Country, and France. She is a global investor in private equity, venture capital, and real estate. She has led transformative investments in tech, ethical AI, fashion, culture, and real estate on behalf of her family office. She is passionate about female empowerment, economic diplomacy, and ethical AI. The LA Tribune recently celebrated her as a global cultural icon and innovator. Princess Stephanie continues her family's legacy of heritage preservation, and I can say even a noted mutual friend just wrote her and said, you are the trailblazer and inspiration for even my daughter and women across the world. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for that introduction. And now I'm introducing a wonderful, amazing person, Patricia Silverstein. She faced the possible death of her beloved sister of diabetes and decided to fight with every ounce of her soul to save her. She founded the Silverstein Dream Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to funding cutting-edge medical research for diabetes and promoting early detection programs for pre-diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Her passion for using all modalities, including holistic diet, nutrition to save others from her horror, is extraordinary. She's earned many awards for her groundbreaking work to save lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you. You're incredible. It's my honor to be in this panel, and I'm gonna follow Jen's directions to welcome her to start her speech.
I hope everybody can hear us. For 27 years, I've been an impact investor and entrepreneur. Currently, I'm excited and focused about transforming the next generation of impact entrepreneurs to help them not make the mistakes that I made. As an entrepreneur, board member, and advisor to at least 50 early stage companies, I've seen firsthand the challenges of the traditional VC model. We all know the statistics, only a tiny fraction make it. We're lucky if that's 5%. So many brilliant ideas, groundbreaking technologies, and passionate entrepreneurs never reach their potential. The current system is broken, intellectual property rusts away, and ventures that could make a huge difference never get supported. One of my companies, maybe 18 years ago, had the cure for cancer. I said, I'm all in, put a lot of money in, helped build the company, and it won the best chance as it got a cure for pancreatic cancer and 6 other types of cancer. And guess what? Didn't make it to the final stages, just because of the entrepreneurial headaches that come to every company trying to make it. And when it's the loss of the cure for cancer and millions of people aren't going to live, that's a pretty serious loss. Anyway, this waste plagued me, and while searching for a better way to dramatically increase the success rate of early stage companies and accelerate innovation, I stumbled across a visionary group that cracked the code at scaling tech entrepreneurship, something I've been doing my whole life. They essentially created a roll-up for startups and leveraged shared resources and expertise to propel multiple companies forward at the same time via a centralized CFO, phenomenal group of streamlined accounting and systems, and rigorous patent due diligence, all working to de-risk innovation and maximize potential. It's like an accelerator on steroids, scaling entrepreneurs 20 times faster than traditional models. After losing some of the best years of my life trying to fight to make these technologies that would save many humans work, I decided that this was something really exciting and I wanted to be involved. There's a new AI-driven ways to help these entrepreneurs benefit society, particularly anybody aligned with the UN Development Goals. Innovation, I believe, should not only generate profit, but also create positive change. We need to bring up emerging economies like India, where I spent a lot of time, speak a little Hindi, love it there, so I'm really excited about getting my hands dirty and going back to India and going to Bangladesh, where I really love the Bangladesh people and I love the country. So I'm very excited about going there to basically help as a role model for all the young entrepreneurs, bringing the Western talent to help them succeed and giving these regions a really fighting chance. I spent my life building companies and advising companies, and I've seen the power of entrepreneurship transform many lives. It's not about my ideas anymore. It's about how we can help push countless new ideas forward and foster innovation that benefits humanity. Innovation is more critical than ever. I'm excited to be part of empowering the next generation using a model that not only scales businesses, but also scales impact. It represents the future of entrepreneurship, and I'm really excited to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. I would like to offer 3 stories of inspiration, innovation, and determination to create something new out of thin air that impacts global governance. I've experienced this during my last decade, where I've had the good fortune to serve Mayor Bloomberg and the Bloomberg family of companies. The first story is about the Bloomberg New Economy Forum. In late 2016, Mayor Bloomberg and the then CEO of Bloomberg Media asked me to resolve a 2-year inconclusive debate to design a new forum that would help bridge and broaden East-West dialogue, but also deepen North-South relationships, and maybe even recapture missed opportunities for collaboration among vested principles. Well, what does that mean? For years, actually decades, the US and global leaders arguably have missed many opportunities to evolve or reform powerful standing bodies and institutions that represent the operational infrastructure of world affairs and commerce amidst drastically changing realities. A close friend and mentor of Mayor Bloomberg, and one of my mentors, Dr. Henry Kissinger, agreed to help us create a framework that distilled best practices and important lessons from other groups such as Davos, Bilderberg, the Munich Security Conference, the G20 Sherpa meetings, and even Dr. Kissinger's various peace negotiations. We began an intense series of meetings. The result, Mayor Bloomberg was able to sign off on a new blueprint upon viewing. We launched summits in 2018 after 8 years and have rotated since then between Singapore, China, and likely soon India, as well as adding ancillary regional summits to involve friendly but tough collaborative discussions. The Bloomberg New Economy Advisory Board has been anchored in much admired global notables that have included Bill Gates, Ray Dalio, Janet Yellen, Mukesh Ambani, among others. The next pass was the America and the Future of World Order Study Group. In 2019, the Kissinger Center at Johns Hopkins SAIS in Washington, yes, set in motion by Mayor Bloomberg, formed a bipartisan high-level group of 16 of America's leading figures in national security and grand strategy. I served as its executive director and as a distinguished scholar. The project itself was inspired by a group that convened in Bellagio, Italy in 1965, another period of changing world order, to discuss questions of where to go. The 21 distinguished participants in that group included intellectual giants such as Dr. Kissinger, who helped convene it, Stanley Hoffman, Raymond Aron, and many other luminaries. Our study group also drew inspiration from the British historian Arnold Toynbee's Chatham House study group in the 1930s that supported the Foreign Office with ideas that later shaped world order in positive ways. Our group met strictly in private for 2 years at the Knickerbocker Club Library and sometimes in Washington. To say that we plowed the field does not capture it. Under Dr. Kissinger's aegis, we delved into every manner of problem, geopolitical, geoeconomic, and geostrategic. Our participants included Larry Summers, Eric Schmidt, Jake Sullivan, Michelle Flournoy, Admiral Gary Roughead, Mayor Bloomberg, and several others. The third pass was the CSIS Schumer Global Dialogue Commission. I moved on in 2021 to, not from my occupation, but in projects for world order, to forge a global version of the American Future of World Order study group, partly because Dr. Kissinger was fast approaching his centenary, but also as the world headed into escalating tensions. We opened our meetings with Russian tanks rolling into Ukraine, and we carefully chose our 24 members from around the world, from each of the world's 7 continents, all who accepted immediately, and included former presidents, prime ministers, foreign ministers, and national security leaders. We met quarterly with Dr. Kissinger presiding to discuss opportunities and challenges to the changing world order. We had participation from China and Russia even during the peak of tensions between the US and these countries. No small number of prominent people told me a priori that it would be impossible to create or implement such a commission. They were wrong. Our participants treasured the opportunity and still speak of it with glowing memories. Some of the participants included Carl Bildt, the former Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Sweden, Ernesto Zedillo, the former President of Mexico, Steve Hadley, former National Security Advisor of the U.S., Shankar Menon, former National Security Advisor and Foreign Minister of India, Rebecca Greenspan, who is one of the prime candidates to become the next Secretary General. So at the end of this triptych narrative of convenings, while the names seem important, I'd like to remind that the most relevant deliverable came from the power of ideas and the power of human friendships, something that you know a lot about. And I've learned those lessons from Mayor Bloomberg and Dr. Kissinger, alongside their tough, superhuman stamina to see a project through to fruition. May I close by saying that we in next generations would do well to revive some time-worn, simple methods and values, such as friendship, applied history, good technology, to mend the world's fences. Thank you. Stephanie, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. That was really inspirational. Talking about global relations. Please excuse me, I'm losing my voice a little, so hope you can hear me in the back. Wow, incredible women on the stage with me. We all have our own personal stories, and thank you, Jen, for helping us talk about them. Mine is that I do come from a family, and unfortunately my mother died when I was 11, so I was separated from that family, and my father, he couldn't take the passing, and he was a complicated man. So I got my first job at 15 years old, and I moved out when I was 17 years old. And I actually learned so much from that experience and have taken that forward. I realized that entrepreneurship is the path to freedom, and this country is one of the greatest countries in the world because of it. And currently what I've worked on in my life is direct investment into communities to try to generate jobs and to try to generate hope and real opportunities. Currently I'm working in partnership with LG. We are doing a Appalachian Corridor, startup corridor. It's going to be very similar to a Silicon Valley type of thing, and we're starting those processes right now, and it's very exciting to see an area that is so desolate in so many ways, has been hit by the opioid crisis, as many people in our nation have been. To see them have hope, to see them see that people in positions of power do care and do want to rebuild our communities and its nations. And if I hadn't have gone through what I went through when I was a child and had to make my way, I don't think I would have really been able to understand people who go through really terrible things. I know everyone in this room has gone through their own struggles, and I just want to tell you, and I'm sure you've heard it many times, there is a point, it may not be evident right now, but eventually you absolutely will see it. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Patricia.
Hi everybody, it's my pleasure to be here, and thank you, Jen, for inviting me and putting us together in this special day where women stand up as leaders and entrepreneurship. It's female, and it doesn't have to be weak female power. It can be nurturing female power. It can be strong by still considering us very female. And I speak for myself because I didn't want to become a man by doing my work, and my experience and my situation brought me to be a good female leader. By the story, I think it's behind every organization, every cause that succeeds. There's a great story behind, and I'd like to tell you why and what we are here, what brought us here, and the healthcare passion we have in the Silverstein Dream Foundation. Not only my father-in-law and my husband had suffered with asthma and allergies for many years, and we started supporting a great institution in Denver, the National Jewish Health, that has created remedies for them to live a comfortable life. But also on my family side in Spain, Barcelona, where I'm from, my younger sister, who has been battling with diabetes for many years, recently after I moved to the US, she developed all complications derive from type 1 diabetes, including kidney failure. So in that moment, we went in the research of the most active clinical trials to support her health. We found the incredible team in the Diabetes Research Institute and one great doctor that proposed a treatment that was never done in the US before with mesenchymal cell therapy. We were going to be the first person. She was going to be. I talked to myself like if I was the patient because I was so deeply involved, but she was going to be the first person to receive that treatment. We accepted it. She went through the treatment, and 2 years later, that treatment helped her become eligible for a double transplant that finally saved her life. That happened 2 years ago. At that moment, I realized if that was possible, what else is possible in the healthcare system? And through these 3 years of battling with huge challenges and between life and death with my sister, I realized there's a need and an urgent necessity to bring these treatments and these cures out of the labs to our patients' beds. There's so much innovation happening in these academic research institutions, in medical companies, in other labs around the country, and we decided to create the Silverstein Dream Foundation with that purpose, to empower individuals and families, to change lives and to drive progress. And for that, we are focusing in 3 main areas of intervention. One is supporting academic research, which now more important than ever, perhaps due to the cuts on funding from the NIH. We're supporting this academic research through fundraising and galas through the year. 2, we have diabetes prevention programs for underrepresented communities that we teach them and educate them about early detection, nutrition, and management. And 3, and very important at this moment, we invest in early stage medical companies related to diabetes conditions, diabetes-related chronic illnesses and inflammation. And so we can accelerate the breakthroughs through innovation by investing through our nonprofit platform. And our goal is to create an extensive network of donors and investors that can participate in the investment through the philanthropy platform, and also creating more investment opportunities for these companies, because our goal is really to bring these treatments out of the labs and accelerate their commercialization to the industry. So by combining these efforts, we think and we believe we can make an impact on the healthcare system.
Thank you, girls, and thank you, Amazing, for making a big difference in the world. I know many people in this room are also, so thank you.